Hey guys, welcome back to Fighter's channel. Mike Tyson gets what he wanted and changed rules for his fight against Jake Paul. The fight that everybody is talking about, although maybe not more traditional boxing fans, is the upcoming bout between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Now Tyson has been handed what could be seen as an advantage, as he has been granted his wish of a role change for the fight. Tyson and Paul will now fight in slightly unusual 2-minute rounds. It should be remembered that Iron Mike is 57 years old and his boxing days are a long way behind him, while Paul is 27 and only beginning his career as a pro boxer. By the time the fight takes place, Tyson will have turned 58. Their fight has been sanctioned as professional under the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations, even with the changes to the usual professional format of a fight. Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson fight rules. Paul and Tyson will go blow for blow over 8 2-minute rounds, as opposed to the usual 3-minute rounds. They will also wear 14-ounce gloves, as opposed to the usual 10-ounce gloves. Tyson has admitted that he was the one behind the request to change the length of the rounds, although it remains something of a mystery as to why the glove weight has been changed. "I wanted shorter rounds for more action," Tyson said. Again, remember that he is almost 60 years of age. "If we have shorter rounds, we will fight more action." When is Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson? The anticipated Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson fight will take place at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington on July 20th. "I can beat him," Mike Tyson reveals, warning he gave Jake Paul and addresses the doubters who don't think he can win. As we inch closer to July's marquee boxing match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, curiosity continues to swirl over whether or not this is a truly fair fight. Many with Netflix subscriptions are no doubt wondering if the 57-year-old boxing legend can use his vast skill set to best a less experienced and far younger opponent, or if Paul's 30 years age difficult will be too much to overcome. Regardless of online opinions about Tyson vs. Paul, the veteran boxer didn't appear too concerned as he revealed the warning he gave his opponent. Even fellow boxing legends like Deontay Wilder think it is a bad idea for Mike Tyson to take the fight, which is coming 2 months after the previously undefeated Tyson Fury lost. Tyson was sounding pretty confident in his interview with Entertainment Tonight, though, and seems to be more concerned about Jake Paul than anyone based on what he told the YouTube tethered boxer when this offer was first thrown out there. Mike Tyson reveals he warned Jake Paul about this fight. Iron Mike Tyson used to sleep in the same bed as his pet tigers, so it's hard to imagine anything in this world that can truly frighten him. He is certainly not shaking up at Jake Paul, and revealed during his interview the message he sent the fighter when asked if he was concerned about the upcoming bout. "I don't think so, but we will see. I gave him his warning. Fight like your life depends on it because it does, but I'm not concerned about anything. If I was concerned, I wouldn't be here talking to you." As he said about Mike Tyson would not take a professional bout, he did not think he could win. He is banking on his experience as one of the most physically aggressive boxing champions of all time, outweighing Jake Paul's far shorter time within the sport, and it's worth nothing he is in great shape for someone approaching their 16th. Readers who didn't see his first training video certainly should, because it's something to behold. Thanks for watching guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.